Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. Now in today's video we're going to be doing another guide, and I'm going to try and show you how to control the motorcycle the best way possible by using my Handcam. So the idea is, I'm going to show you how I use the controller, how I manipulate the analog stick, and how I'm able to go so smooth in Ride 4. So what I want you to know straight away, I have changed the controls in this game. So I have changed the controls to the tuck-in button being X, which you can see my thumb is resting on now, square being the rear brake, circle being the gear down, and triangle being the gear up. R1 is also changed to the clutch instead of L1. Everything else is the same. So straight away you're probably noticing something quite different. When you are tucking in, you can move the analog stick backwards or forwards and you will still remain tucked in. I use this as an advantage on the straight that I'm preparing to change to pushing the weight backwards. So take a look in this next corner. I'm going to be holding the tuck-in button with my thumb, and I'm going to pull the analog stick back to push the rider's weight backwards to keep the rear wheel down. And again in this corner, the rear wheel is being pushed backwards and then slowly rotating the analog stick. You're going to see that a lot in this. I'm going to be pushing down on the tuck-in button, and I'm going to be pushing backwards on the left analog stick earlier than the brake itself. And then when the brake comes up, I'm already pushing backwards. So when you are letting go of the X button, you are removing the tuck-in, which will then push the rider's weight backwards. That is key number one to making sure you are braking correctly. I can't stress enough how important it is to push backwards on the left analog stick. And with this visual guide of when to do it, because I'm going to pull it back now before the corner, I'm already positioned for having it backwards the second the rider sits up. Because if it were to do it the other way, the rider would sit up and then have to sit further back. If I were to let go of the tuck-in button and then go backwards, which you would probably wheelie because of the amount of speed you were going. Something else I want to mention straight away is look how gentle I am with the analog stick. The only time it flicks is because of a flick of direction. That analog stick has to be the rider. It has to feel like you are leaning left and right. It's very gentle with the analog stick. I don't push it, I don't flick it, I just gradually and gently move it. So I want you to pay attention closely to the analog stick. I feel a lot of you guys who are watching these videos and looking for a guide are probably doing what I call the push-pull tactic. When you play games like F1 or any car games, Need for Speed, etc., you can flick the analog stick wherever you want to. Usually that's how you do it. But with bikes that's not the case. You have to gradually lean. And as you can see with the analog stick, it's gently being applied in each corner. The dead zone is very important for a controller you're using as well. So make sure this dead zone is a nice, sophisticated dead zone that's not going to be dead halfway through the controller and then immediately move to the other end. I recommend the DualShock 4 or an Xbox One controller. I'm not a fan of the Xbox One controller, but some Xbox controllers, like the 360 controller, is absolutely fantastic. Well, the one was too big for my little hands, but still, it's something to mention. So of course, this is mostly focusing on the analog stick because this is what I can show you the most of. Now as far as the triggers go, it's still being very gentle, very, very delicate, but it's hard to depict that with the camera I've got. So this is unfortunately the best I can do regarding the actual analog stick movement. But I can't stress as well, if you're on a straight, you need to be tucked in and you need to be pushing forwards. Now when you're not on a straight, and you're in a corner, no tuck-in is required. It's hard to see with my thumb being in the position it is, but the tuck-in only needs to be applied when the bike is straight. When the bike is straight, or if you're carrying a lot of speed. Like this corner, great. That can stay full tucked in. Remove the tuck-in, and do not hold tuck-in until we see the next rumble strip. Then you can tuck in. The rumble strips are your friends. They will guide you across the track. So again, as we come up, I'm holding the tuck in button, pushing forward in the analog stick. I'm going to release the analog stick backwards, remove the tuck in, and then apply brakes. So again, we're going to run through this a couple of times because I want to try and get this point across. Tuck in is only used when on straights or slight bends. Tuck in is still not applied now, but now it is ready for the rumble strip. So always think about there's no tuck in until the bike is straight. And eventually you get a feel of when you can do just before the straight, just before it's about to lean up. And again, holding tuck in, removing the tuck in, pushing backwards on the analog stick, and slowly bringing the analog stick round. Now I want you to notice that movement, especially into turn 2. Notice how the controller doesn't go from bottom to top. It rotates counterclockwise left to right. Sorry, apologies. It rotates clockwise left to right. And you will see again in this next corner. I'm going to be pushing backwards in the long stick, and I'm slowly bringing it back up to straight. It does not go straight forward. It goes slowly straight. And this is delicate movements. It's very slow. As you can see, the thumb is not moving very fast. The only time the controller is flicked is when I push backwards. And as you can see, with this being a clockwise track, it's very much clockwise movements with the analog stick. That analog stick has to be treated delicately. It's the best way I can describe it. It is quite difficult for me to think of the analogies and the explanations and the ideas behind it, but this works for me. Again, I can't always guarantee it works for everyone. There's probably strategies out there making it even quicker, but I'm trying to give you the best possible way to controlling the motorcycle. So we're going to run one more lap, focus everything I've said, rewatch this video if you have to, or if you need to ask me any questions, feel free to leave some comments down below, contact me on social media, anything you need to do, I'm more than happy to help. But to push forwards we need to learn analog stick control. That's how to master controlling the motorcycle. I know for myself, even watching other YouTubers, a lot of them are quite aggressive with the bike. I would like to think I'm quite smooth. And I would say the smoothness is all down to the gentle movements of the analog stick. But pushing backwards, again, I'll just reiterate, when you are tucking in, you can push backwards on the analog stick, preparing for the next corner. I do it all the time, and it helps me so much. Because braking without pushing backwards on the analog stick is a recipe for disaster. So as we approach the final couple of corners now, as you see, same strategy being applied all the way through, a little bit of gearing down, a bit of rear brake here for the final corner. And as you can see, that has been Laguna Seca, and that has been my guide on analog stick control. There's not really much more for me to say, so I really hope this video has helped. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any ideas for any more guides, and if it helped. But upon that note, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support recently. I'm trying to give you a thumbs up, but it's difficult to do because of the angle I'm at. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.